Yeah, that's right. So who will prevail? Will it be the solid aggressive stylings of Solar, or will it be the crazy wacky biomech switcheroos of GuMiho?
We will find out. Place your bets in the chat. Who is it going to be? The Zerg or the Terran, the Madman or the hero we need? As he has adopted that mantra upon taking down hero. He's got the DPG jersey. Let's go.
Oh my goodness. The DPG jersey? What?
Heroes on DPG. What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking about?
Heroes
Oh,
on DPG. What do you mean?
ah! This has gone too far.
The first time we casted ESL Open Cup Asia together was the week that Solo played against Creator, and it was the week where Solo played against GuMiho in the finals. Fun fact. It's all coming back together.
It's coming full circle.
Yeah.
He's gonna be losing his chest. It's poetic injustice, just the way we like it. Meanwhile, we do have that same player spawning in the top right-hand corner with his onside jersey firmly secured. It is the blue Korean Zerg, Solar.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, we have the South Korean Terran player himself representing Storm Gaming. It is GuMiho, the madman himself.
The madman himself, and we will have to see what he's going to go for. It looks like a CC first to start this one off.
This is what I mean. he's crazy, puppy. But it makes sense because Solar isn't one of the aggressive Zerg players out there. He's not like your Dark. He's not like your Rogue back when he competed. You know, he's just going for a hatch first. We have the CC first here from GuMiho. I believe he's doing this just because, like, kind of reading his opponent, metagaming a little bit.
Yeah, I think there is an element of that. I will also say CC first has been coming back into the meta quite strongly. We've been seeing it a lot out of players like Cure in the GSL, and it is something that you can do on some of the more defensive maps like this. There are a lot of ramps on this map. There's a pretty long rush distance as well, so if there's any map that you're going to do it on, I really don't mind having it on this map.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see if GuMiho can get away with this. Meanwhile, Solar back at home just goes for a hatch gas pull, everything that we would typically expect from a standard opener, just looking for any kind of proxies. Again, he's up against GuMiho, very unpredictable, could end up going for that kind of aggression. So Solar just playing it safe.
Yeah, that's right. So that Overlord not scouting any racks, it just scouts the doggo off in the corner there, and he is just going to be able to continue with his standard game plan. So it looks like coming out from GuMiho, we are going to see nothing too crazy just yet. Not skipping any racks units, going to make his Reaper for safety, and we will be seeing a factory go down behind that.
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder how Solar's going to react to this, by the way, as he gets his third base. There is going to be no Reaper, so yes, he will send his Lings across the map, recognizing that, okay, it could be a Marine first, something weird could be happening, so I'm going to go scout across the map and then run into the face of this Reaper.
Yeah, that's right. So this Reaper just going out to scout. He's going to be able to pick off one of those Lings, but being seen as well. But we're going to be a little bit risky going across the map, but he does choose to do this anyway. Just going to confirm that there is a third base down for Solar.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't want to play too blind here as GuMiho behind this. Before the second starport, he is going for that third CC.
Yeah, so going for this 3cc first build, this is something that I was expecting to see a little bit more often coming out of players. It's something that we saw Mario do recently against Raynor, where if you are expected to do a 2-base all-in, it can make this 3cc play even stronger.
Oh god, exactly. So maybe GuMiho playing a little bit with his reputation, bearing in mind that because the Lings were killed, Solar actually didn't get eyes on the CC. He hasn't really gotten eyes on anything really, so he's unawares of how greedy GuMiho has been this game.
Yeah, it looks like GuMiho going to be going for a Hellion Banshee off this, so this is a bit more of an old school build. It's something that we see Spirit do quite a lot as well, so it is something that has been tried and tested. It is quite a solid build if you can get away with it, and it does look like GuMiho is going to get away with it so far.
Yeah, exactly. Solar kind of more concerned with his own opener. We didn't really get to mention it too much, but GuMiho did get a kill already on one of those drones with his Reaper. Is able to sneak in towards that third base as well. This time not getting any drone kills, just forcing a reaction, forcing some buildings out from these drones. And yeah, just doing a great job at containing Solar right now, just keeping Solar in the dark.
Yeah, trying to keep this pressure on Solar, and Solar is finally going to get this Overlord heading into Scout. He is hopefully going to be able to see the 3CC with this as well, but GuMiho sending out a Viking, is going Viking into Banshee. Nice little adjustment there, and he's going to be able to deny some of this scouting.
Yeah, and looking at the vision here for Solar, okay, he does barely scout that third CC, so now Solar is well aware of the more economic game that GuMiho is planning to go for. The Viking also is going to force him to be a little bit more in the dark. We should be seeing some safety spores, that would go spores being set up in preparation for potentially a lip.
Meanwhile, do you see what I see?
I don't want to see it.
So GuMiho has cancelled his stim.
Oh my!
And built a factory.
Oh my god! Isn't it?
It's the Chadolf move.
He's an animal. He's doing it. He watches the stream, Papi. He watches the stream. 2 factories are on the way, an armory on the way as well. He's going for a bit of a Hellbat push here. The Hellions slipping on towards the third base. We have a lot of Queens, but not quite in position. Ooh, armory just finishing up.
Yeah, that's right. GuMiho, he is a very creative player and very intelligent player as well, able to make a lot of different reads and adaptations based on what the standard responses are. And against a CC first 3CC, you will usually see the Zerg player going very greedy, trying to drone extremely hard to match the greed of the Terran and even get ahead in that way. So I like this adaptation that is made to go for a bit of a Hellbat push.
Yeah, exactly. On top of that, though, we have a Banshee in the natural, we have a Viking in the main, we have Hellions headed towards, Hellbats headed towards the third base. GuMiho going for a tri-pronged attack. He doesn't get into the mineral line. All the Queens were waiting for the Hellbats, but damage is still being done.
Yeah, these Hellbats have caused so much chaos, and like you were saying, showing that Viking, it is more normal for the Viking to go into a Liberator, but he actually made 2 Banshees behind the Viking that he went for, and even able to defend this run by at home.
Yeah, the reinforcing Hellions do clean up all of those Lings. The Banshee is going to back off, but it got 9 drone kills in conjunction with that Viking. Hellions are still alive, by the way. Sorry, I should say Hellbats are still alive, so GuMiho still has that map presence, still can threaten the mineral lines of Solar. Ooh, and yeah, just a great amount of damage done already.
Yeah, that was a brilliant attack coming out from GuMiho. Considering the 3CC opening, he doesn't need to get so much damage, but he was able to deny so much mining time and gave himself so much space at home as well. When you're going for a mech build, normally it's these opening moments that can be a little bit scary for you, but he's created so much space for himself, even getting a 4th on location.
Exactly, the greed just doesn't stop here from GuMiho, and why would it? You know, Solar, he's terrified. You know, he's up against mech, he's not going to push out. You know, it's a scary moment for the Zerg, especially with all these Hellions in the middle of the map. I mean, Solar has recognized what is going on. He does have a Roach Warren on the way. He's working on his upgrades. He's working on a Spire. He is taking up in the direction to deal with mech. But again, he just doesn't really have too much of a presence on the map.
Yeah, this is one of these things where I start to wonder if GuMiho is kind of playing the long game with these crazy bio into mech into bio builds, where it does make him very confusing to play against later on. So you can see Solar kind of having to hedge his bets, going for Lings and Banes and the Spire and Roaches.
Oh, exactly, but you know what? The Hellions are nowhere to be found. These Cyclones are gonna get surrounded. The boys are being pulled away. These Lings are actually fighting some damage here with their 1-1 timing. The Hellions are finally actually still not turning around. They're still across the map.
Yeah, really nice damage here from Solar, but GuMiho himself, he's going to be able to sneak in these Banshees, just getting a little bit of extra damage. And 7 SUVs going down on the side.
Yeah, but the Queens get pulled away. Now the Hellbats heading towards the 4th base. Solar is being pulled apart.
Yeah, so much damage going here, but he does finally get these mutas out, and these mutas are going to make it very difficult for GuMiho if he's losing a lot of these Cyclones to the Lings on the other side. Solar's playing this out really well, playing a very dynamic style of Zerg to take it to this map.
Yeah, exactly. Things could have been a lot worse there, but in the end, he only loses 4 drones, so he will be able to survive. He moves out across the map with these mutas. There are only 3 Cyclones to defend. Sorry, 4 Cyclones now. They do get a couple of lock-ons, but the mutas do dive on top of 2 of them.
Yeah, that's right, and these Cyclones are running out of space. These are very poor trades for GuMiho. These Cyclones are very expensive, and he hasn't been able to get any mines out, and just recognizing in this situation, there's nothing he can do to contest the mutas, calls GG.
GG, the win condition was there. The fact that Solo was able to catch a couple of Hellions earlier with those Lings just kind of snowballed into a window where mutas were going to be the answer, despite the fact that GuMiho was getting away with so much greed economically, despite the fact that he was hindering the economy of Solo by so much. Mutas were the answer.
Yeah, that's right. The Flappy Birds taking down the win, and the Flappy Birds have awoken.
He's like, oh my god, mutas? Is it time for food? Feed me, Asher, feed me.
Yeah, so we will have this second map coming in. The start of that game looking very promising for GuMiho, but Solar being so dynamic and aggressive with the Lings and mutas. We were referring to it after we saw that he got the 2-0 over Hero. He must be in very good form today.
Oh yeah, man, you gotta be in good form for these weekly tournaments. I understand that they're just quote-unquote weeklies, but the best of the best still rock their faces here, and there's still a lot of money on the line. Solar looking powerful, or again, looking unfazed, despite how dire the situation was, despite how much was going against him, he was able to persevere regardless. And now we get into game number 2.
Yeah, and game number 2 is gonna be on Moondance. Now, Moondance is the map that we saw before GuMiho going for those crazy mech into bio, into BC players, and it is a map that you can really turtle hard with the tanks, so I wonder if we're going to be seeing more of that kind of offbeat style coming out from him this time.
We'll see if that's what we get, because spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the player who is currently leading this series 1-0. As a reminder, it is a best of 5, plenty of games ahead of us. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Onside Gaming. It is Solar.
And his opponent spawning in the upper left hand corner of the map. It is the Red Terran playing for Psystorm Gaming, GuMiho.
This time, going for a Rax first.
Yeah, that's right, going for a bit more of a standard build to start off with. Doesn't mean that he can't go into anything crazy further down the line, but gonna opt to not go for that CC first again. I do like this choice as well on the shortest rush distance map in the pool. It's a bit more common to see some roach-based plays here.
Yeah, exactly, and I wouldn't be surprised if Solar did that. I have seen that he has been a connoisseur of roach-based plays, especially in ZvP, just hitting these timings, just trying to end the game as soon as possible in the mid-game before his opponents can really get underway. But we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if he does head towards those roaches. Meanwhile, GuMiho, do you think he'd be willing to switch things up and not play mech, going to bio on a map like Moondance?
Yeah, it's definitely possible that he could go for a bit more of an aggressive build. It does look like after throwing down this reactor, just going to scout, so this can go into a number of different builds. Can go into a small amount of Marines into a standard 1-1-1. It can even go into a 3-Rax or a 2-1-1, so still a lot of options open to him, and he will be quite safe from any early Ling pressure if Solo chooses to go for that.
Yeah, exactly. This does mean that he forgoes the initial Reaper, so he's going to be a little bit in the dark if Solar did decide to go for a much earlier Roach Warren. But again, that's just not necessarily the kind of player that Solar is, not at this stage of the game anyway. So GuMiho taking a little bit of a risk, foregoing some scouting, but you know, he's okay with that. He's willing to give that up.
Yeah, just gonna skip that Reaper there, get those extra Marines out, and it does look like he's gonna be going for a factory this time, so there are quite a lot of different options that you can go for. This is something that we see Beyond doing quite a lot, and it does leave you a lot of options, does allow you to move out with those Marines as well, try to get a little bit of damage on the scouting Lings, on the scouting Overlords, and he's gonna be able to deny any scouting so far.
Exactly. Solar just fanning out all of his Lings, trying to avoid those Marines and get any kind of scout, any kind of vision on that map. I'm just curious to see if GuMiho goes for a faster 1-1-1 from here, or does in fact switch over to get out those Hellions.
Yeah, it does look like he's going to be going for the 1-1-1. He does have the option if he wants to float this Rax over to get the Overlord, but looks like he's just going to land that one. So this does make it a little bit more likely that he could be going for a bio play or maybe some fast Banshees.
Yeah, we do have a tech lab on that rack, so the option is there for us to see a bit of a building switch to go into Banshees once again, in a bit of a different way compared to game number 1, but very reminiscent nonetheless, as these handful of Marines are actually pushing out across the map, looking for any kind of stray overlords, any kind of damage they can find.
Yeah, that's right, and they are going to put a bit of damage on this third, quite importantly scouting the third as well, so there's no pressure to kill this third. It's just going to make things a little bit annoying for Solar, maybe force out some Lings as well, but with these Hellions diving into the natural, this could actually get quite a bit of damage, and nice quick reactions from Solar does manage to avoid losing too many.
Yeah, he does end up getting us around, but this is going to weaken the hatchery quite a bit. Again, the Hellions were able to be a massive distraction. This hatchery is getting dangerously low.
Yeah, it does put a lot of damage on that hatchery, and that does mean that later on, if he manages to come in early with those Banshees without a spore prepared by Solar, he might actually be able to take out this base.
Yeah, exactly. Solar has to be oh so careful with that. The Banshees are on the way. Meanwhile, Solar's trying to catch those Marines as they go back across the map. It looks like he will find them, he will catch them, and will eventually clean them up as the Hellions come in to reinforce.
Yeah, the Hellions coming in to save these Marines, and this is quite a blow for Solar to lose all of those Lings. Does take a lot of his defense away, and while he is happily droning away, he is going to have to think about dealing with that later on down the line, but does get a full scout into the main, scouts the Banshees, but GuMiho actually not going for Cloak here.
Yeah, opts not to go for Cloak, opts to throw down a couple more racks as well, so he is going to be playing that bias style. Solar did scout the stim on that racks, by the way, so he's fully aware of this. There's always a world where GuMiho cancels it and he switches things up like he did last time, so I mean, there is a little bit of mind games going on.
Yeah, nice to know on this scout as well with the Overlord, but the Overlord is going to see the third being taken on location, and Solar does have the option to do something about this if he does choose to. Meanwhile, just using these Queens to shoo away the Hellions, but the Banshee is going to be able to sneak in behind the natural here.
Yeah, Banshee's headed towards that natural base location. There is a Queen and a Spore waiting for it though, so Solar is already in position. GuMiho is not going to find too much damage there. Meanwhile, Ling's going to go for a bit of a counterattack towards that third base location. GuMiho, once again, in position.
Yeah, GuMiho has been really on top of his unit movement. He's been able to do a lot with a little and keep on top of all these Ling rotations. He's just been all over this and had a lot of map presence all throughout this early game.
Yeah, exactly. It's been insane to witness. Behind this +1 is on the way. We have our upgrades on the horizon here for GuMiho. 1-1, even, as he gets his third base up and running. And yeah, I guess we're gonna from here going to a more standard mid game, but Solar has been taking a little bit of losses early on, so I'm sure his drone count isn't exactly where he would want it to be. Finally, fourth base is being taken.
Yeah, both players getting most of what they want, so all in all, this is going to be, despite the weird start, a pretty standard mid game that we're going into here. We've got the 1-1 upgrades coming up for both players, a little bit delayed for Solar. They did opt for a faster Bane Nest just to be safe from any aggression, but it's not going to amount to too much in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Just maintaining his side of the map, spreading all of his creep towards the center as well. It has a decent Queen count as well to help provide for that. As GuMiho is showing his first signs of aggression, the first wave of medevacs are on the way for that first push.
Yeah, that's right. He does have this 1-1 timing coming up. Does have a small window as well where he will have 1-1 without any 1-1 for Solar. So there is potential to get some damage there, but it does look like the Bane speed of Solar should be done just in time to deal with this push.
Yeah, exactly. So Solar will have the tools to defend, but will he have the positioning? That's what it's really going to come down to here. GuMiho is pushing out onto the creep. Again, the creep has been spread quite well for Solar, so that will slow down GuMiho a bit and give Solar plenty of time to prepare.
Yeah, that's right, and this is a rather impressive Marine count for GuMiho, so we're going to have to see how good the splits are going to be against these Banelings and how much damage he can get done that way. It does opt to bring these tanks forward, dropping them straight in, but there we go, the Bane speed finishing up, and how good are the splits?
Splits are okay, but the tanks do go down for that. They did buffer a lot. They did tank a lot of those Banelings hits themselves, and there are still a couple of Hellbats to help support these Marines as they do get into the mineral line.
Yeah, they're going to be able to put a little bit of damage on this mineral line. This Bio is a little bit overstimmed, and he is going to be losing one of those medevacs as well, so it's going to be hard for him to deal with these Lings, but he's taking some very nice trades, and the reinforcements on the left here, getting a lot of damage on the Queens.
Yeah, exactly. The Banelings are being targeted down one after the other. No Banelings remaining here. The Queens are going to go down. They were wasting their energy on Transfuse, on trying to keep the base alive, and the base will go down.
Yeah, fantastic attempt attack from GuMiho just manages to wedge himself into this position, and Solo without the base is gonna have to call GG on that one.
Wow, GG, well played. I'm sure Solar, myself included, we thought we defended the first wave once the 2 tanks went down. We didn't realize that GuMiho was going to commit and just rally everything across the map, just snowballing very quickly on Solar.
I like how you say we, just me and Solar, couple of Zergs trying to survive against man with gun, and I can't do it, Solar can't do it, no one can do it.
No one can do it. No one can do it, Asher. What can I say? What can I say? I just speak the truth.
I'm just trying to survive out here.
Just trying to survive, puppy. Aye. Look, Rogue is gone. Dark got eliminated from GSL. Like, what do you want?
Copium.
The copium. Solo's the only one left, puppy.
Yeah, so that does tie things up, and we do go into this third map, Dare to See, with things 1-1. So I wonder on this map, are we going to see one of these epic 30-40 minute games that we have been seeing so often in the ESL Open Cups here? Oh,
I look forward to it on Day to See between these two players. I want to see that longer drawn out game. So far, we've kind of seen very interesting openers, but when we get into the mid game, things escalate very quickly, whether it was game 1 with the mutas or game 2 here with that timing, with that 1-1 push. But now we are in game 3.
Yeah, that's right. We are heading into game 3, and here in the bottom left hand corner of the map, we have, playing for Onside Gaming, the blue Zerg Hope. It is Solar.
And spawning in the top right hand corner of Data under the sea, we have the South Korean Terran player himself representing Storm Gaming. It is GuMiho.
Here we go, and GuMiho mixing things up once again, going for a gas first, so he's going to have a slightly quicker factory this time. We're going to have to see what kind of aggression that he has in store for Solar.
Oh yeah, very different opener here. Again, it's one of those things where GuMiho, he opens up standard maybe once a series, but only once. Okay, he's got so much more available to him, and yeah, that's what makes him a terrifying player to play against.
Yeah, GuMiho's got so many different options here for how he can open up the game, and they always lead to some kind of aggression, and he has shown his flexibility as a player, even going for more of a straight-up bio push in that last game there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, everything looked kind of normal except for the dedication that GuMiho had. You're even putting it out yourself. The surprising amount of Marines that GuMiho was able to work with, even his army positioning. His first 2 tanks honestly didn't really deal too much damage, but they just dealt with so many of those banelings. Maybe intentionally, maybe unintentionally, but it all just added up and all led towards that win.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think that push was going so well, but finally when those reinforcements came in, things started to sway so quickly, and that game just got away from Solar so fast, and yeah, we'll have to see what's in store for this one. It does look like he's going to be getting that Reaper first, and they should be seeing a factory go down right about now, so I do believe that he could be using some faster Hellions with this one.
Yeah, I believe so as well. We'll keep an eye on his production. We'll see what he ends up going for, as the first Reaper is going to be going out across the map. Again, this is the first time this entire series where GuMiho has gone Reaper first.
Yeah, and it's not even a standard Reaper first. It's a little bit late.
True. Aye.
Yeah, so there are a few different options that you can go for here. There is a build that Mario was playing around with for a little bit to abuse the delayed ling speed that you get with these clash openers, where you pull off gas early, where you just dive in 2 to 4 Hellions very early on in the game and go into a standard Banshee. But yeah, it does look like he's going to be going for something a little bit different. So this could lead into a Marine drop, actually.
Yeah, Marines are being pumped out. We don't see the add-on switch. We do see the Ling checking the front door. Does confirm the reactor on that rack. So that is already a little bit of a tell, spotting these initial Marines popping out. Oh.
Yeah, he sees the 1-1-1, but GuMiho just going to switch onto that factory now, so he will be able to get those faster Hellions. And he's going to send that Hellion across the map as well to reinforce with that Reaper and get a bit of extra scouting.
Oh, and there it is. There is that medevac on the way for the oncoming drop for GuMiho. Solar maybe has a little bit of information to sniff this out. The other thing that I just realized,
it's a Hellbat push puppy. No. This is actually the same Hellbat push that we saw Beyondu against Solar on Moondance. I think it was last week, and I have to be honest, it did not look good. It was really rough for Beyond. Solar had no idea that it was coming, and it still didn't really do anything. But I wonder if it's a little bit faster with the gas first. I'm not sure if Beyond did a gas first himself.
I don't believe he did. I was about to say that I remember that game as well. The VODs are on our YouTube channel. Sorry, they're on our Twitch channel, soon to be YouTube channel for those wondering. Beyond, he did a great job at just keeping everything hidden, and then the push went in. There were no banelings, and just the queens defended. Meanwhile, Solar, he is going to slip into the main base. He's going to have a little bit more information to work with, but for the time being, going to try and defend against his Hellbat. Yeah,
really nice reactions from Solar. Does manage to get those lings on top of the Hellbat, and the Hellbat almost going down, just manages to be healed up by that medevac, but is eventually going to go down to this queen. Meanwhile, the Hellions diving into the natural.
Oh my god, the boys are being pulled as well. It looks like the shots weren't good enough, but 7 workers have gone down. 2 more Hellions headed towards that third base location, but Solar, he has defended.
Yeah, some wild move coming out from GuMiho, but Solar is up to the challenge, and meanwhile back at home, GuMiho, not one to go for the standard, is instead making some Ravens.
GuMiho, you know, he's not just an amazing player, he's also the champion of Twitch chat, because, you know, why don't you just make Ravens in TVC? He's making a second Raven, actually. Oh my god. What?
Yeah, this is a wild build coming out from GuMiho. He's going to be able to do a lot about this creep. This is something that we've been seeing in a slightly different way. Maru been doing in some of his games, been going for a single marine drop just to put on a bit of pressure and clear out these overlords, and then clearing out the creep with the Raven Hellion combo. So it is an idea that we've been seeing players use a little bit lately, but the second Raven is something a little unusual, and we do see once again he's going to be playing Mech.
Yeah, Mech is coming on the horizon. We have 2 more factories on the way with 2 Ravens. Does that mean that when GuMiho clears creep, can Solid never spread it again? Is that...
It's illegal.
Is that how it works? Has GuMiho found a glitch in the Matrix? Oh my god, he's going for a little bit of Raven harass here towards that natural base. The main army still just dancing with these queens, trying to keep him in check.
Yeah, this is where we find out that the Raven isn't actually a hero unit. You can actually make 2 of them against Zerg.
Oh my god. Can we make 2 motherships?
Yes.
Have we been living a lie?
Why not?
Oh my
2 motherships in the early game to clear creep.
True. Oh my god. We have Thors coming out, puppy.
Yeah, very aggressive variation coming out here from GuMiho. This will allow him, if he wants, to go for a bit of a Hellbat Thor timing with the medevacs as well. This is something that
the Thor drops.
This is something that I've seen Euthermal actually doing this quite a bit as a follow-up to some Hellbat builds, where you can have a second pressure once you have those 2 Thors and the 2 medevacs. So you can send those straight across, and you have a Hellbat Thor pressure. And on the side of Solar, you'd really like to have roaches to deal with this, so I love this plan from GuMiho.
Yeah, the Roach Warren only just now thrown down here at the third base. GuMiho just going wild right now. I know you're giving some credit here to Euthermal, but I'd like to give some credit to Quanta. I want to believe that GuMiho met up with his boy, and they've been just going over some builds, and GuMiho's been gleaming from it. He's been learning a little bit from it as well, and here we go. He's pushing out across the map with Hellbats and with Thors.
Just imagining them sitting down, and GuMiho's like, what's some builds that I can go for? What have you been doing lately? And Quanta goes, the Thors, go in the medevacs. That's it.
That's it, mate. The Zerg dies. And honestly, right now, banelings are falling. There are 0 roaches right now to defend. The Roach Warren only just now finished up, and it's vulnerable. It could go down.
Yeah, GuMiho is being so patient as well with these Hellbats, not overcommitting them on the front. He's going to be able to use his medevacs just to get these Thors away from the Lings, and considering how much damage has gone on all these units, but hardly any of them have gone down, this does put so much longevity into this push, and everything being killed for Solar.
Yeah, exactly, but you know what? The Roaches are now finally coming out. They are finally being hatched. The Roaches will be able to force this back, but the Warren will fall.
Yeah, that Warren getting very low. GuMiho spoiled for choice with the targets with these Thors here, but he's just going to start to fight these roaches and the DPS chunking through those.
Oh my god, exactly. And in the end, he turns back around. I think he wants a little bit more damage. Lings do clean up all of those hellbats from the high ground. The Thors rain down upon the mineral line, upon the roaches.
Yeah, GuMiho being absolutely brutal with these Thors, but those few Ravagers there, they are going to be able to shoot these away. Those Biles looking very dangerous here, and GuMiho wants this Roach Warren, and he's going to get it.
Oh my god, he gets the Roach Warren in the end. The Thors are still not done again. We saw GuMiho's control against Bjorn, utilizing these units with very little health. Once again, doing it again here against Solar. Behind this back at home, 4th base on the way on location. More tanks being produced as well. That push was wild.
Yeah, and we have 3 of these big daddy Thors, so I wonder if we're going to be seeing some more medevacs coming out. We could actually see, like you referred to, the quantum move, the famous 4 Thor drop.
The quad Thor drop, let's go. Oh my god, as again, GuMiho is still shocking around with this Thor. I'm sure trying to even land on that ledge. Oh, no, slips off it. But you know, he gets a queen.
Yeah, it did kind of look like he was trying to put the Thor on the ledge. I don't think you can, but yeah, it's still pretty funny to see the kind of gaps that these Thors can be dropped into.
It's disgusting. And Solar, his response, I saw him throw down the Roach Warren and an infestation pit. It is not for Hive. He is going for swarm hosts.
Yeah, this is a really good response. Seeing as he's seen the medevacs, he knows there's no BCs, and this is something we used to see a lot before people worked out the ways that you can go from BC into mech, where the old styles of mech where you didn't have those BCs, they were just pulled apart by heavier swarm host styles, and I do believe this is the correct way to deal with it.
Oh yeah, Solar, he has sussed this out. We'll see if he can actually make use of it right now. Just clearing up all these rocks, just making more room in the center of the map. He hasn't really been able to do too much to GuMiho's economy. Actually ahead in workers, it's insane. But GuMiho also doesn't have eyes on the tech. He doesn't have eyes on those swarm hosts. Goes for a little bit of scouting here, but again, he just hasn't been able to spot this.
Yeah, that's right. He has made things very difficult for GuMiho in terms of all the map presence that he's had himself, and this first wave of Swarm Host is going to come in and jump straight onto the tanks of GuMiho.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be able to get 1 tank for his shovels. Could even get a 2nd tank as well. The Ling Bane Ravager rolling on in as well. Arguably overextending. He only got 1 tank with that Locust Wave. Oh, does get a 2nd with the Ravager Biles.
Yeah, he's going to take out a second one of those tanks, but this does give GuMiho a little bit of a window to get aggressive on these Ravagers. Even has the Raven here for the anti-armor missile that is going to make these Ravagers very weak to the tank fire.
And exactly, he has to be careful as well because of these medevacs. The Thors could try and flank the army as well and get on top of these swarm hosts. So Solar has to be oh so careful here. Oh, goes a little bit too close to that tank fire.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension here, and GuMiho just being so annoying with these units as well. He's going to clear out the Overlord in his main base, just suspecting a little bit of Swarm Host there, and with Blue Flame finishing up, these Swarm Host waves are going to be a lot less effective.
Yeah, exactly. Does get another tank for his troubles. Meanwhile, at the same time, we have some Raven harass here towards us out, drawing away the attention of Solar. What is GuMiho's response to this going to be, by the way? Again, just sticking with tanks and Hellions, actually switching into Liberator production.
Yeah, he's going to start churning out these Liberators, so he can set up these Liberation Zones that will help zone out the army so they can't chase in after this Swarm Host. He's also going to be able to get a lot of harass with that, but on the side of Solar, we do see he's starting up some Vipers.
Yeah, Vipers are on the way. That's a great way to help deal with these tank lines. Meanwhile, another Locust Wave is ready as well. Ooh, has to be careful. Almost does lose 1 Swarm Host for his troubles, but he's going to be able to force all this back.
Yeah, and this mech army of GuMiho is quite bruised at the moment. I would like to see him repair this up a little bit before he gets too adventurous, especially those Thors looking a little worse for wear at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? The Locust Wave is about to run out, so now Solar is at his most vulnerable. Ooh, he will lose both of his Thors though.
Yeah, losing both of those Thors just to a few Banes, not really what you want. It's a lot cheaper to repair the Thors than to make new ones. And very cute move there. Actually juggles the Thor from the weak medevac into the stronger one, getting the most he can out of these units.
Yeah, just dancing a little bit there, a little bit of a micro battle going on. Meanwhile, another anti-armor missile. GuMiho is not done. He's forcing himself into that 5th base. Does he have enough? Because there's another Locust Wave.
Yeah, this is very aggressive coming out from GuMiho. Maybe a little bit of desperation setting in as he realizes that he's not in the strongest position in this game, and he is going to be cleaned up by Solar.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree. GuMiho just overextending, throwing away so much. It didn't help that a lot of his army was weakened from the earlier battles, and he opted not to repair them. And Solar actually holds onto his base.
Yeah, commits so much and doesn't manage to take down this fist. Doesn't even take out the drones that were at the fist. So Solar finding himself in a very comfortable position now, and GuMiho just continuing to push in.
Yeah, what's interesting is that GuMiho has actually stopped tank production. He's going back into Cyclones instead, so a much more maneuverable, a much more flexible army to help deal with these Locust Waves.
Yeah, that's right. This army much more able to bait out these Locust Waves to meet the Swarm Host in the middle of the map and then get back out of there. And it is going to mean that these Vipers are a little bit less effective as well.
True, the Viper's only just now coming out on full energy. We have a bit of a lock-on, and it looks like he will get a hatchery.
Yeah, it does take out those hatchery. The Hellbats with the smart servo upgrades able to transform very quickly and get out of there as well. So nice moves from GuMiho. He's going to be able to take out the hatchery in the bottom right as well.
Wow, in the matter of seconds, 2 hatcheries of Solar go down. Cyclones are absolutely insane when it comes to these run-bys, but this may force the hand of Solar. He's going for a Nidus.
Yeah, he's going to start Nidusing these Swarmhost waves in, and they're going to be able to get so much damage, especially if you can get near the production. It's going to be very difficult to deal with, but it is going to look for that 4th base. If that's a planetary, not going to be able to lift it to defend from the Locust wave.
Yeah, the planetary is on the way. Oh my god, the Nidus has been spotted by these Liberators. GuMiho has to make a choice. Is he going to turn around right now, just dancing with the main armies? Cyclones, they do catch the Nidus.
Yeah, Cyclone's going to take out the Nidus, but a little bit of damage here still for Solar. He's going to be able to put some damage on these bases. He's going to disrupt the mining time.
Oh yeah, exactly. A couple of SCVs are going to be targeted down by those Locust waves. Doesn't matter that it was a late kind of late transition. 11 SCVs go down.
Yeah, the Locust DPS absolutely insane, taking out so many of those units, and Solar will just throw down a little bit of a distraction Nidus at the front here, but he's going to lose his Vipers.
Oh, 2 Vipers, a bit of a miss rally. They do get focused down in the end, weren't able to do anything at all, so no value been taken there. Meanwhile, GuMiho rotating over towards the left-hand side. Liberators are already in position.
Yeah, GuMiho just forcing some mistakes out of Solar with all the pressure that he's exerting all over this map, and these Cyclones are just going to be able to kite the Ravagers and Roaches for days here.
Yeah, exactly. He's finding his way in. He's slowly gaining that ground. We need another Locust wave. At the same time, the reinforcements are hitting the right-hand side. They're going to be able to get a hatchery if they aren't stopped.
Wow, and GG. GuMiho manages to swing that one back.
Oh my god, GG, well played. I think we both thought that once the Locust Waves came out, once the Swarm Host came out, then GuMiho would have a hard time being as aggressive as he was. But it was really interesting to see him, a Terran player, a meching Terran player, completely tech switch out of tanks into Cyclones.
Yeah, definitely caught Solar off guard with that switch back to Cyclones, and I thought things were looking really bad for him after he was cleaned up at the 5th, but he manages to use a bit of multi-prong to not only take out that 5th, but also take out the 3rd on the other side of the map, and this made it really hard for Solar to get enough units up with that Ravager Bane style, which is so reliant on lava.
Exactly, and we saw Solar start panicking towards the end, starting to fall apart at the seams, at the edges, when his Vipers were being taken down one after the other. His Locust Wave, his Swarm Hosts were stuck in that Nidus and weren't really able to come out. They were at that 3rd base location, and he just wasn't able to hold on to his bases. Ugh.
Yeah, that's right, and so now we head into Waterfall with a 2-1 lead for GuMiho.
Yeah. This Terran player, he only needs one more to become this week's champion. Rufus, his attention is teary. I can feel it. He's giving his energy to Solar as we speak.
No. Oh, poor Rufus.
What do you mean, puppy?
He would cheer for Solar for a piece of tuna. He really would.
Oh my god. I would, mate. I want some food, mate. Oh my god.
And meanwhile, spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have Rufus's favorite player, the onside jersey wearing Zerg, the Korean Zerg in the blue. It is Solar.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Waterfall, we have the South Korean Terran player himself representing Storm Gaming, rocking his own jersey right now. I'm sure it is GuMiho, the mech god himself.
Yeah, and it looks like GuMiho going for another gas first opening.
Oh yeah, once again looking to get into that faster factory, delaying his Reaper that much more. And yeah, I'm also a little bit surprised about the vetoes here. We find ourselves on Waterfall, you know, Terran map. Unfortunately, we only get one veto. You know, it is what it is, Papi. It is what it is.
Yeah. Not even gonna justify that with an answer.
I like how so as soon as I say that, you're like, all right, Catcam's gone. It's gone, mate. We got it. Rufus.
It's serious now.
We can't get his bias influencing this game. We can't let his energy reach Solar.
Yeah, so we have to see what's going to come out this way. Solar once again going for a hatch first. This is something that we've been seeing a lot out of him in pretty much all of his ESL Open Cup Asia games. Just pretty happy to be the defender in most situations.
Yeah, I mean, hashtag Zerg life, you know, it's we're just trying to survive, puppy. We're just trying to... No, but I 100% agree. And like, again, that's why I do think that when GuMiho goes for like these greedier openers, when he delays certain things in the beginning of the game, it is, I mean, because he's up against Solar specifically, like it feels that much safer to do so.
Yeah, I do like for Solar that he is going for such strong openings every time, but it does mean that GuMiho does have a lot of options, and he is very comfortable to kind of go for whatever build that he does like. And with this factory kind of tucked away in the corner here, I do wonder if we're going to be seeing something a little cheeky out of him, maybe a BC opening.
Yeah, and I mean, bold of Solar to this early on just dive in with his Overlord. He wants to get eyes on what the hell GuMiho is doing, and seeing this factory tucked away, as you were saying, is pretty sus. It is pretty unusual, and now Solar is at least aware of that.
Yeah, actually, this does look like there is an opening that GuMiho's been going for a lot lately, where he goes for very, very fast Banshees, and it is possible this tech lab on the factory is for those Banshees. We'll have to see if he goes for a switch now.
Yeah, we'll have to see that switch does happen. At the same time, GuMiho is finally across the map with his initial Reaper, just again confirming that there is a third base, that Solar is doing what he's been doing every single game so far, pretty stock standard play, but GuMiho is anything but standard, and there is that add-on switch.
Yeah, nice little link scout there by Solar. Should be able to see roughly what's going on. We'll be able to see the add-on sitting next to the Starport as well, so I will expect to see spores going down for him pretty soon, as these Banshees are being pumped out at a very early time in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Solar, he didn't quite see the tech lab, but he did see the positioning earlier, so he is fully aware of an add-on switch. So he should be able to piece it all together. Massive should on that one, as for the time being, we don't have any spores yet. Again, we should be seeing them soon.
Yeah, so this Reaper is just going to go out, see if it can clear a little bit of map vision as well. We're seeing a tank being started up for GuMiho as well, so definitely a more defensive opening so far.
Yeah, exactly. Lean's just scouting on in. Overlord in position outside the main base. Banshees are coming out, and there is that first spore. Again, Solar, not quite certain what it is in position more for a Liberator than for a Banshee.
Yeah, a bit of a weird positioning on that one. Might even be to deal with potential drops. You might be thinking there's a Marine drop coming with so many Marines being pumped out of that reactor racks at the front there. And this Banshee is going to show itself at the front here, just taking out that creep tumor. And yeah, we see two spores going down immediately for Solar, but they are a little bit late.
Yeah, like thankfully for Solar, the Banshee does reveal itself early. Otherwise, potentially GuMiho could have dealt a little bit more damage. For the time being, the Banshee is drawing away the attention of these Queens, actually focusing the Queens down here, softening them up for this push.
Yeah, very interesting push here. He's going to establish this tank on this little foothold here, and being so aggressive with his units, even putting a bit of damage on these Queens. There's not much energy here on the Queens either, so there's not going to be too many transfusers available for Solar.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have too much at all. We have Lings all the way. Solar is heavily supplied. Blocks 4 Overlords are on the way.
Yeah, and beautiful grenade there coming out from that Reaper, actually throwing those Queens closer into the tank fire, and the Reaper getting the last shot on one of those as well. But bit of a lack of high ground vision here allows the Queens to get on top of the tanks.
Yeah, the scan was a little bit late. The Banshees had abandoned the tanks, going into the mineral lines, going in for a little bit more economic damage. That does cost the tank. That does mean that a lot of the teeth of this push has been dealt with, is now gone.
Yeah, even a bunker being built down here. very wild stuff coming out of GuMiho.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, it didn't really come to fruition. I mean, he did get 3 drones in the end, which is okay, but I'm sure that GuMiho wanted to get a little bit more damage and snowball and maybe get some more queens. So Solar has dealt with this, decently well, actually going straight into a Spire.
Yeah, I do like this. GuMiho is just continuing to make Banshees, so he could be in quite a bit of trouble against this Spire player, especially if he continues to make tanks and Banshees.
Yeah, definitely. Solar delaying his Evo Chambers, delaying his upgrades to get into that Mutatek. GuMiho's a little bit in the dark. He even goes for a scan just to keep the bunker alive. I don't even know if this stuff is worth it, but we'll see. Tank looking a little bit, oh my god, a little bit precarious here in the middle of the map, but GuMiho is committed to the second wave.
Yeah, he is going to reinforce this bunker, and I don't mind this. There is quite a lot of a commitment to this position with that bunker, but the Spire is on the way for Solar, and if he can eventually get into a higher meter count, it's going to be hard for GuMiho to get much done with these random spattering of units.
Yeah, and I'm getting a bit of deja vu, but once again, GuMiho doesn't have high ground vision. The tank goes down, the bunker is salvaged. The salvage is not in time. The bunker does get picked off as well. GuMiho forced to turn around, and I'm a little bit afraid for him because these Marines are getting caught out. Again, there's no stim.
Yeah, big surround there. GuMiho does manage to snipe out those Banes, so he does take the best trades that he can, but getting caught in the middle of the map like that, that is a lot of the supply of GuMiho going down, and with the mutas on the way, he really needs every one of those Marines.
Exactly. There's just so little anti-air available to GuMiho right now. Looking at the unit side, we have 9 Marines. Again, they are stimless. They don't have combat shields. They don't have any upgrades whatsoever because we have the prioritization of the Banshees and the tanks instead. And similarly to the previous game that Solar was able to win, it's possible that like mutas could just seal the deal.
Yeah, I do think we are going to be seeing a repeat of that first game where the Solar's mutas are just going to come in and win this, and we can see for GuMiho, he has no idea this is coming. He has no turrets even on the way, and yeah, this is going to do so much damage, going straight onto the Banshees, onto the SCVs now. The sport for choice in GG is called.
GG, mutas could just do whatever they wanted, whether it was the tank, the Banshee, the SCVs. GuMiho just gives it up. GG, we are going to our ace match.
Yeah, ace match on the way, and this is exactly what we've hoped for. Neck and neck series between these two different players, and both of them playing really well. I like that Solar opted for those mutas, realizing there's such a heavy commitment into the tech of GuMiho, and of course, everything has its drawbacks in StarCraft, and Solar was able to identify the weakness.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like there is something a little bit in common when it comes to the weaknesses of some of GuMiho's builds that Solar has been able to find, but it all comes down to game number 5. We're tied up 2-2. Oh, GuMiho doing just something different, something crazy every single game. Does he have something else unique for us for game number 5?
Yeah, that's right. We have this game number 5 here, and we are going to inside and out. So out of all the maps on this pool, I do think this one does have some of the most potential for early attacks for Terran. There are some really nasty tank spots that you can get through the middle, and you can set up in between all the bases of the Zerg. So I wonder if we're going to be seeing another one of those bio tank pushes coming out from Gumi.
Yeah, I wonder if we are as well. I wouldn't be too opposed to it. Or maybe it's just too similar to what he's already done, and he just wants to be unique. You know, he wants something different. We'll see.
Yeah, as here we are spawning in on inside and out, and in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have Onside's Gaming Zerg. In the blue, it is Solar.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside Now, we have the South Korean Terran player himself representing Psy Storm Gaming. It's the mech god. It is GuMiho.
Yeah, no gas first this time from GuMiho, so doing a really good job mixing it up. He has so many different builds he can go for, and it does look like things are going to start out a little bit more standard for him in this one.
Yeah, exactly. Everything looks normal, which means it's going to be anything but. When we get into the later stages of the game, we'll see what GuMiho has to solve for us.
I mean, I say it's looking normal, but he hasn't taken a gas yet.
Ooh, yeah, he does go for the gas now, but it was quite late in comparison. What do you think? What are you thinking, Asher? What are you thinking?
So This is something that he was playing around with a lot when he first came back from the military. It does, as you can see here, mean that you get your CC quite a little bit earlier, and he'll be making just a Marine out of that first rack. So a little bit of a greedy corner that you can cut just to get that CC down a little bit faster.
Interesting. And again, we were talking about this in the previous game about how these greedier openers can work well against Solar. We've just been seeing different facets of greed from GuMiho. You know, we've seen faster CCs, we've been seeing faster third bases. Now we're likewise, but just in a different way. It's interesting how he just mixes things up. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of options, and he's shown that with his skill set, he's very good at making use of small, random pieces of units. So making use of the Banshees, the tanks, Thor drops. He's got all sorts of different like micro skills that he can exert with the units, the random units that he makes. It does make some very weird assortments of units.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like he's gonna just have like a massive like brain capacity, you know, like to have like so many different routes and so many like branching paths available to him whenever he plays a game of StarCraft, not just in this matchup but in other matchups as well, and he just kind of in his mind picks and chooses where he wants to go, and he's good at all of it. Like it's impressive. It's something unique to him. Like I don't think anyone else is quite like it. Maybe Euthermal a little bit, but even then.
Yeah, exactly, and it does give him so many options as well. It makes him such a confusing player to play against. He can make so many of his different builds look the same, and you never really know what route he's going to be taking with it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like we can say similar things about someone like me or Micah, but even then, like Zerg is a more like by nature flexible race, right? When it comes to Terran, you think more stock standard, you think more rigid, you think more build order oriented, which is why it's so unique to see it in that race instead in StarCraft. So yeah, it's always great to see. Mad props to GuMiho here. Oh, but we'll see if it's going to be enough to become this week's champion. Again, this is the final game of the series, and he's going into a 1-1-1, not going for an add-on swap.
Yeah, it does look like he's going to be going for a bit of a Marine drop here, so I think these racks in this factory will swap. Maybe not. Yeah, there we go. And so we are going to just be seeing this single Marine drop, and we're seeing an early second racks as well, so there is potential here for a little bit of an early bio tank push.
Oh yeah, it is going to be on the horizon. Meanwhile, Solo is getting ready for that. He's getting another spore in his main base. Again, just in case there is going to be a drop coming his way. The Overlord, looking at the vision, will spot that medevac as it comes out.
Yeah, just get eyes on that medevac, so he will be able to pull some of his Overlords to safety or start to set up defenses around them, just to make sure that this medevac isn't going to get too much damage. Meanwhile, GuMiho just kind of sharking around, trying to see if there's any little things that he can pick off around the map.
Exactly. Solo goes for a bit of a link scout, does confirm the third CC on the low ground, so he knows GuMiho is looking for a bit of a longer game, is looking to get his third base up and running. So Solo has at least that to work with, and the drop has been spotted as well. So far, has been able to do too much.
Yeah, that's right. This drop has been shooed away by the Queens. They are doing a good job just zoning this drop away, and there's no Overlords out on the map for it to find. So GuMiho will get a little bit of map presence here, but meanwhile, back at home, he is going into an armory and some fast medevacs.
Oh my god, yeah, another wave of medevacs on the way. We have more Hellions, we have more Marines. It looks like he's working towards a massive Hellbat push, but Solar behind this is going for a Roach Warren.
Yeah, Solar has sniffed out something's a little bit weird, and he's not quite sure what's coming his way, so I do think it's a little bit of a safety Roach Warren, but it is going to allow him to get some defenses up, and he's been so good with these scouting links here as well.
Yeah, exactly. He was able to spot the additional 2 medevacs. He saw the Hellions as well, not tanks, which is going to be another bit of a tell. There we go. The first wave of Roaches are on the way. They will help in the defense. Unfortunately, no Banelings, but again, Roaches do kind of fill that role.
Yeah, and this is something that we were referring to in our Cast of the World Team League last night when CranKy Ducklings was playing in that one, where this is a map that we have been seeing Roach play a lot more commonly from Zergs. It is starting to become a bit of a trend in the meta that Zergs like to play Roaches on this map as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we're seeing here. GuMiho finally gets eyes on the Roaches for the first time as he does dip on down. As soon as he sees the army, he will back off and think better of this push. I don't know if committing is really going to be the wisest choice. He just opts to clear up some creep.
Yeah, and he does have those Hellbats in the medevacs as well. Knowing GuMiho, I think this is going to be used to harass some drones, and this is something that we used to see a long time ago, but not something that you see too often anymore. It is still very effective though.
Yeah, it's like innovation. Is that you? What? I thought you were in the military. What's happening? As there we go, the Hellbats are dropped into the mineral line. A couple of drones do get roasted, but only one, I think, in the end. One or maybe even none, as one Hellbat is kept here just to make sure the drones don't come back to that mineral line.
Yeah, cute little move there. It's just going to deny a little bit of mining time, but Solar does manage to get those drones back to mining as fast as it can, with the Queens taking out the Hellbats, and not too much damage here for GuMiho.
Yeah, exactly. It only cost him a single Hellbat though, so you know, some lost mining time. It's not bad whatsoever. Behind this Solar, he's committing actually to roaches, going for +1 range, +1 carapace. Infestation pit's already on the way, Hydrogen on the way as well, so he's setting himself up to go into roaches and later on into hydras and lurkers.
Yeah, going into a bit more of that cave blob style, the Roach Hydra into Lurker, even making some ravages here, so this is an extremely strong defensive style. It does make it really easy as a Zerg to get to the Lurkers later on in the game. Not quite as economic as some of the Ling Bane styles, but it will give Solar some very dangerous timings later down the line.
Oh, it really will, and GuMiho has yet to really sniff this out. I mean, seeing the commitment into roaches, you know, it does kind of lean towards a single direction, and there it is. The Lurker Den is already on the way, so Solar taking up incredibly quickly here, trying to get his economy up and running as well, and it's going to be on GuMiho to sniff this out.
Yeah, I think Solar here has recognized that GuMiho is on a fairly low-tech army. We can even see for Gumi, his 1-1 upgrades are so late in this situation, and that can make it really hard to deal with the roaches. Your 2-2 is such an important timing for bio against roaches. That's where the sway of the tide really changes, and it can be really hard to fight the roaches without those upgrades.
God, it really can be. So we'll see if Solar even needs the Hydras and the Lurkers to help out his ground army as he's going on in, setting himself up to push through those rocks. At the same time, to see a little bit of Hellbat harass here at the 4th and at the natural.
Yeah, that Hellbat just going to take out a couple drones for its trouble. GuMiho managing to make pretty good use of these Hellbats, not just losing them to roaches in the initial push, but saving them for later on. Meanwhile, he is able to shoot these roaches away. He did see them poking out into the sensor tower, but Solar has a pretty significant supply advantage.
Oh yeah, Solar is now max. Solar wants to make use of this supply as well, working through those rocks. Meanwhile, that drop did actually stumble across the Lurker Den, so GuMiho is fully aware of the tech that's going to be on the horizon. He's fully aware of where Solar wants to transition after this roach fight.
Yeah, nice scout there by GuMiho. We do see him throwing down extra CCs just to help him get those scans that he's going to need later on, but he is in a pretty awkward situation. Once again, those CCs being started up just to get the orbitals for those scans, but we're already seeing Lurkers on the way for Solar.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we have a bit of a scan now, actually making use of the immobility of that Roach army. The hatchery is going to fall. The Roach is completely out of position, so GuMiho is still finding some damage here, even able to pick up a couple of drones.
Yeah, getting those extra drones, shaving off all of the Lings, actually doing so much damage with this drop, and meanwhile defending his base on the right-hand side, but the Lurkers are here.
Oh, the Lurkers are here. They do have Lurker range on the way as well, already dishing out so much damage to that orbital. Every single Roach is cleaned up, but where are the scans? How do we deal with the Lurkers?
Yeah, the bio having a tough time. These tanks will just make it a little bit more difficult for the Lurkers to come forward, especially without that bio speed upgrade, and GuMiho doing a really good job without ghosts, trying to take out a lot of these, even dodging the spines. Wow, look at him go.
My God, it really is innovation. He dodges the spines like a madman, focusing down 3-4 of those Lurkers in the end. My God.
Yeah, that is not something that you see too often. It's very difficult to do, but he is able to dodge the spines with those bios. Really sick micro coming from GuMiho.
Yeah, exactly. And because of that, like, he's not in the worst position right now. He's still behind his supply, don't get us wrong. The Vipers are coming in as well for a bit of yoinks, for a bit of blinding clouds.
Beautiful snipe there on the Viper. GuMiho immediately focusing that down before it can get the blinding clouds, but there just isn't enough here to support the tanks.
Yeah, exactly. There's not enough buffer. There's not enough bio. The tanks are going down one after the other. GG gets called. And Solar, with his Lurker timing, without the Vipers, takes the series 3-2, and he is our ESL Open Cup champion.
Yeah, congratulations to Solar getting a little bit of reverse sweep action going on there, and he is able to take down GuMiho. So condolences to GuMiho, looking very strong in this series, but Solar able to just take the no-nonsense approach, gets it doesn't get too bogged down with all the crazy tech switching of GuMiho and just smashes through.
Yeah, wow, GG, well played. I mean, that was a very crisp timing there by Solar to make use of those lurkers. We saw that even that final engagement was honestly looking pretty close. Like, again, it was amazing to see GuMiho focus down as many lurkers, as many of the Vipers as he could. Just didn't have enough reinforcements there, or didn't have enough of an army to really sustain himself, to really protect all those tanks. Had a large tank count, but nothing to protect it. Oh.
Yeah, really nice play coming out from GuMiho with the micro, but just didn't quite have the game plan and the units that he needed to deal with that. So really well played by Solar.
Oh, God. Exactly. GG, well played. And again, it was just really well done by both players as well. I'm sure any other day it could go either way. You know, I think these two players are pretty evenly matched, and we had just a great day of StarCraft today. Great day. Oh.
Yeah, great day of StarCraft, but of course, that is not the end for us for StarCraft. We do have World Team League later on tonight, so any of you guys in the chat, if you want to cheer on the CranKy Ducklings tonight, we do have our World Team League qualifying match in just 8 hours.
Yeah, we do. Oh my God, the StarCraft doesn't end here on the CranKy Ducklings. The World Team League qualifiers are going to be upon us soon, TM. We're already getting ready for that. Look forward to it, because we're going to have quite a sick lineup. And we're going to be going up against one of the newer teams, one of the more amalgamations of the teams. I believe it is Hist and Toss, a team featuring both Breaking GG and Haas.
Yeah, so there are some scary players there, Breaking GG and Haas. Haas especially, a very powerful Protoss, very stylistic Protoss as well, so they should be exciting games.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, and I'm a little bit scared, because I don't mind saying this, because we did figure it out. Breaking GG, want to know a fun fact? He subscribed to Vindicta last night.
Oh no.
To gain access to his VODs.
Wow.
He's taking it seriously. He's studying our boy. He's looking to try and snipe Miguelito. But you know what? The CranKy Ducklings were not just all about Vindicta, okay? We have so much more available to us. You know, you can study Vindicta all you want. Hey, who says you're gonna make it that far?
Mate, you can study Vindicta, but you can't study Starduck because he doesn't play Starcraft.
True.
The secret weapon. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, it's gonna be a wild night, a great conclusion to an insane Cinderella story run that we've been having. You know, fun fact, Team Liquid actually released power rankings before the qualifiers for all the World Team League teams, and we were placed 9th out of 26, which isn't bad, don't get us wrong, it's not bad, but you know what? 9 is not good enough, okay? We should have been top 4.
Number 1. Let's go.
Number 1, mate. Number 1. We're on the way to qualify. We'll do our best to make it through in the end tonight. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Again, I also don't want to take too much away from Solar and GuMiho. Great players. Solar, GuMiho, Hero, and Beyond. The 4 of them do walk away with some money, and we had some amazing games today. I do not regret at all following GuMiho from the beginning. He's always such an inspiring player to watch, because again, you know, like, he just has such a different outlook on the game, and yeah, it would be fun if more people played like him. Or maybe that would make him less unique, but like, it's just always a lot of fun to watch.
Fun to watch, not fun for you to play against.
Exactly. With that, thank you so much everyone for watching. Asher, what are you gonna do from here until our next cast? What's the plan for today?
I'm gonna have a coffee.
I'm
gonna have some pizza.
Okay.
I'm gonna have some water.
Wait, coffee and pizza?
Yeah.
Okay. all right.
And then I'm just big chilling. I think I'm gonna play some StarCraft.
Okay, we'll go play some StarCraft. Don't forget to order some Maccas before the cast this time as well, just so you
True. I'll order some Maccas as the cast starts.
Oh my god, just to make sure you get that Maccas inside you. And yeah, it was a great day at StarCraft. I apologize for having you work overtime this weekend. We've been casting a lot of StarCraft. So thank you so much for being a part of it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All good. And if anyone wants to find you, where will you be? Will you be streaming and stuff?
God, no.
Will you be playing customs against my Met?
Oh no. Like, yo, I just saw GuMiho do this wild build today. Let me try it out on you.
There was Thor's. Oh, I want to Thor drop you, puppy. Let's go.
No. You can follow me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week. I do stream usually on a daily basis, but because of World Team League, I will not be I don't think I should be streaming today. I'm gonna go have some breakfast. I'm gonna go prepare myself.
Breakfast? Oh no.
I told you I could have done with some tuna, man. I could have done with it. So yeah, I'm gonna go get some food. I may have a nap before World Team League. Undecided on that, but I may do so because it is in 8 hours. So a nap may be good. But yeah, I'm also just like full of anxiety and anticipation about tonight because yeah, I already went through that. Yesterday was yesterday was terrifying.
Yeah, it was very close. Yeah,
it was really close, man. Like Dolan and Patty Mac getting knocked out, but knocking out their own opponents, and even Vindicta's games were just too close for comfort. You know, they were like, oh my god, I was on the edge of my seat, mate, the entire time.
Yeah, that's right. There's some intense games coming up, so we'll need to save all of our energy, and you guys in the chat need to save all your energy too, so you can cheer us on.
Yes, exactly. ! Socials in the chat. You can follow us all over the place: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. You'll be notified when we go live with our next broadcast, which will be in those 8 hours. So yeah, a lot of StarCraft on the horizon. As a reminder to everyone as well, this week is going to be it's not going to be ANZ Champs. ANZ Champs is in a couple of weeks, but this week is going to be the DreamHack Atlanta qualifiers. So we're also going to be live every single day of the week. The Google Calendar is chock full of StarCraft 1 to 2 tournaments every single day for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, no rest for the wicked. Tomorrow, Monday, is actually going to be our 1 day off before we get into the grind once again. So a lot of StarCraft coming out. Of course, we're going to do our best to cast everything. Myself, Asher, Yaku, I may drag Chase in, Darking, Kuro. We're all going to work together to try and bring you as much StarCraft as we can, as we do every season here on the CranKy Ducklings. So follow.
Yeah, that's right. Light's going to be having he's going to be having breakfast, at 4:30 p.m. every day, just to bring you the best games.
Unironically. So thanks everyone for watching. Asher, do you have anything you want to add before we head off for the afternoon?
There's no problem in your life that can't be solved by dropping 2 Thors on it.
You're an animal, mate. Facts, mate. Facts. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys in 8 hours for World Team League. Until then, ciao.
Bye-bye.